Okay, so if I compare a headless architecture to a car's body and engine, in a traditional architecture, the front end and back end are tightly coupled, and this is going to be similar to how a car's body and engine are integrated as a single unit. Just as a car's body and engine are inseparable in a traditional design, in a traditional e-commerce architecture, the front end and back end are interdependent, making it difficult to make changes. However, in a headless architecture, the front end is decoupled from the back end, and this separation is like having the car's body and engine as independent components that are connected via APIs, or in the car's case, the chassis. Just as you can now customize the car's body without affecting the engine, in a headless architecture, the front end can be built and run independently from the back end. You can then mix and match the front end and back end, similar to swapping out the different body panels or accessories on a car. The benefits, firstly, you can gain flexibility and you will be able to innovate more easily. So if we go back to the car example, just imagine being limited to just one design. That's what traditional e-commerce platforms can feel like. Headless commerce is going to break this mold. So with a front end that's separated from the back end, you can design a one-of-a-kind shopping experience that really reflects your brand perfectly. And you can do things like incorporate cutting-edge features like AR product trials. Anything's possible with headless commerce. Secondly, you can reduce the length of development cycles. So month-long platform updates and complex code changes are over. With Headless, you can make edits and implement new features on your storefront quickly and efficiently. This agility allows you to keep up with customer trends and experiment with new ideas to stay ahead of the competition. Another great benefit is the ability to offer omni-channel experiences. Headless allows you to deliver a smooth shopping experience no matter where your customers interact with your brand. So this can be on a mobile app, social media, voice assistants, and even through in-store kiosks. There are APIs that connect your headless front end to all these sales channels to ensure a consistent and streamlined buying journey for everyone. Well, APIs really just kind of bring everything together, everything that's in your platform. In essence, they act as the glue that binds your storefront and your backend together. They enable real-time data exchange. They ensure your storefront has access to all the critical commerce cloud functionality. By adopting Headless Commerce, a Salesforce Commerce Cloud user can create a composable storefront with APIs. Think about composable storefronts as pre-built modular components that can, again, mix and match to create the ideal shopping experience. These components could be anything from product listings, shopping carts, payment gateways, and loyalty programs. And the APIs are going to come in and act as the messengers. They're going to connect the front end to the back end components, allowing communication between each different part of the platform. So again, if we start imagining different ways of looking at it, you can imagine a customer adding an item to their cart. An API call will then be triggered, sending that information from the front end to the back end where the product data, inventory levels and pricing are stored. And then the API goes and retrieves the updated cart information and sends it back to the front end, keeping the customer's experience seamless. Well, migrating to headless commerce requires careful planning. For example, you need to consider compatibility with existing systems to ensure smooth integration between your new solution and any other third-party services that you have in your existing SFCC backend. You'll also need to familiarize yourself with API integrations. They can be a bit tricky with Salesforce Commerce Cloud. You're going to also have to carefully consider your data migration strategy. There are two main options for Salesforce users. The first is a big bang replatform. This means a complete overhaul, migrating everything at once. This can be faster, but carries a higher risk of disruption and requires, significant expertise. And a second option, my preferred option, is a progressive migration. So this involves just gradually replacing sections of your architecture while keeping the core backend functionality intact. This is going to minimize risk and costs, and it's going to allow for phased rollout, phased learning, and phased development. So there are lots of things to consider while strategizing for your migration, but 3 of your main priorities should probably be security to protect customer data, effective change management to prepare your team for the new architecture, and performance optimization to ensure a fast and responsive shopping experience for your customers. So if we put everything together, I think there are 4 main steps when it comes to migrating to headless commerce with SFCC. The first is planning and assessment. In short, you need to evaluate your current e-commerce setup and define your goals. The second is building the right team. This means assembling a team with SFCC expertise that is also familiar with API integrations and that has some knowledge of headless development. The third is creating the implementation roadmap. You're going to need to develop a very detailed plan. It's going to have to outline your migration approach, timeline, milestones, and it's also going to include choosing your API integrations and data migration strategies. And the fourth step is the launch and the optimization of the new platform. By gradually rolling out the new headless architecture with a progressive approach, you can start with your storefront and then continuously monitor performance to optimize the customer experience. So I guess if I sum up everything that we've talked about, headless commerce with Salesforce Commerce Cloud is going to allow you to break free from the limitations of your current platform and really take control of your e-commerce. If you choose to do this, you're going to need a strategic migration plan and the right tools. It's going to allow you to unlock agility, innovation, and exceptional customer experiences.